It's a pleasure bringing you this program on this your darling station, the Africa Independent Television. And this is your program, Security Watch Africa. My name still remains Patrick Abambu. Thank you for staying tuned to the station. On this program, we'll bring you that information you need to keep your life safe and secured. Welcome to the program today. Today already we're starting up with our discussions and our reports and our stories. I have seated already here in the studio with me, Chimezie Manyadike, a social commentator. It's a pleasure to have you in the studio. Even though it's been a sad period, sad week for Nigerians and Nigerian armed forces and Security Watch particularly, who we are very close, those friends and families that were close to the late Lieutenant General Taoreed Abiodun Lagbaja. Like someone said, sadly said yesterday, the end of an era. I would just begin by asking our guest, sadly, we have lost a man that you here on this program and here in this studio spoke eloquently about how he was marching on with the fight against insecurity in the country.
Yes.
When you got the news of his death, how did you feel?
I actually did not believe it because I felt it was one of those rumors that usually circulate in the public space, especially on social media. But when the social media handle of the Nigerian Army posted the news, I felt like we had lost not just a warrior, we had lost an opportunity, we had lost an integral gem in the fight against insecurity. And I'm thinking that it would be difficult to fill his shoes, as the case may be.
Okay. Yeah, of course, his burial program started during the week. Yesterday was his interment, but it started with the service of song that was held at Mogadishu cantonment here in Abuja. Security Watch Africa was there to capture some of the moments. Let's see what happened.
Hello, I'm Wale Bashir Adeniyi, Controller General, Nigeria Customs Service. The African Security Watch Awards and Conference is here again. The 18th edition comes up in Doha, Qatar, from 10 to 12 December 2024. Peace and security are necessary ingredients for economic growth and development. I am therefore delighted to participate in this conference as a keynote speaker on the topic, Protecting National Security Through Effective Border Control, the Nigeria Customs Service Example. Join us as thought leaders in security management from Africa and other parts of the world converge in Doha for the 18th African Security Watch Awards and Conference.
To plant and a time to pluck what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal.
Light has dimmed, and in the hearts of a nation, a void remains. Lieutenant General Taoreed Abiodun Lagbaja, a man of courage, a guardian of hope, has marched into the eternity.
1987. Then Officer Cadet Taoreed Abiodun Lagbaja and 199 of us assembled for training as members of the 39th regular course.
Yeah, welcome. It was quite a very solemn moment there. One of the highlights of the comments by people, of course, you had one of his classmates, Major General Chris Aligbe, talk about him right from when they got enlisted into the Nigerian Defense Academy. But one that touched me was the president of the St. Charles Old Students Association, who talked about the Taurid Lagbaja in school. He has been a leader right from the secondary school, you know, but now his classmates confirming it. How, you know, I don't know. How do we identify people like this? Because we can see we have some of them in our society, but somehow they are not there. He's an exceptional human being quite well. But for you, how do you think this should be?
Well, I believe that, like you rightly said, there are so many persons that have leadership qualities in the armed forces and in all the sectors of society. It is easy to track them because they have track records. You can also track them, you can also identify them with their different sets of behaviors and all the places that they've been able to achieve one or two things in their different endeavors. So I believe that with trying to replace or trying to get someone or some persons like the late Chief of Army Staff, I don't think it would be very difficult. It's just to be able to identify the key components of his character, of his quality, and identify them in some other persons that have manifested them over a period of time. For example, what his colleague said, since 1987, when they enlisted, I mean, since then, they've singled him out. They were able to identify him as someone that had exceptional qualities that marked him out as a leader. And so things like this would go a long way in also helping the armed forces and then the society at large and the government as well to identify quality leaders that can be employed or that could be brought up to push different agenda of government in protecting and guiding society at large.
Yeah, you know, for him, he was a particular character because right from as a junior officer, at least we have had encounter with him when he was just a lieutenant colonel to all that. It's on record that in Nigerian Army today, he's the only officer that had commanded 2 battalions, at different times. He had commanded 2 brigades at different times, and these are strategic brigades. Yes. He was chief of the general officer commanding 2 divisions at different times. Really, so far, it's not been there. No officer has been able to achieve that feat, and it's not because of he's been favored. It's because, like General Aligbe said, it's because of his exceptional character. Yes. How do you think we can replace such a person? Because it's actually very difficult.
I agree. It's quite difficult. It's not as though it's not doable, but it's very difficult because men like him are rare. People that are able to execute and achieve responsibilities that others ordinarily find it difficult to handle. Handling 2 different brigades, handling 2 different battalions, also being GOC on 2 different occasions. I mean, when you look at the man, you would be tempted to say that he is practically irreplaceable, and I might want to agree. But if we are able to, like I said earlier, identify the unique set of qualities that set him apart, I'm very sure that we would also find those qualities in some other persons that would enable the armed forces and also government to put such persons in places of responsibility.
All right, let's go. The National Christian Center was where what we could call the Requiem Mass, the funeral mass, was conducted yesterday, and the wife of the president, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, was there, and she was quite touched while making her remarks. Let's watch what happened there.
death of mourning or crying or pain, for the order of things has passed away.
He said to me, "It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty, I will give water without cost."
That in this hour of brokenness and grief, that the God of heaven will turn favorably to this daughter of Zion, to these children of covenant, that the hand of the Almighty will bear them up, especially in a time like this.
A gentleman, a patriot, with unwavering dedication to the service of our dear country. He ran his race and finished his course. The Bible says in Psalm 112, verse 6b, "The righteous shall be in everlasting remembrance." He also said that the memory of the just is blessed, and the rest from their labors and their works followed them. He had fought a good fight. He had finished his course. He kept the faith. Henceforth is laid up for him a crown of righteousness.
A crown is laid up for him, because, I think the people who are feeling the impact the more of his demise, I would say, is the soldiers, because he took issues of welfare very seriously.
Very serious.
Can you talk about this?
Yes, and I looking at this, watching this again, it stirs very serious feelings of, grief and how do I put it? I mean, the man was just extraordinary. He made sure he stamped his foot. He ensured that he placed his foot in the sands of time concerning the welfare of the Nigerian soldiers and some of the extraordinary things he did and the policies he implemented to make sure that his men were adequately catered to and their welfare was something that he really took serious responsibility for. I can sympathize, and I still share my condolences with every member of the Nigerian Army in this time of grief and mourning. And I really, really pray that someone like him would be discovered later to also, take away this deep grief and mourning that the members of the Nigerian Armed Forces and especially the Nigerian Army have found themselves in.
Okay, let's go to the National Military Cemetery where he was interred yesterday evening, and where Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu filled with emotion, elogize him and actually describe him to be one of his best appointees. Let's hear and see what happened.
We are gathered here today under the shadow of profound loss and sorrow as we bid farewell to a great patriot, an extraordinary military leader, and a man of immense courage, Lieutenant General Taoreed Abiodun Lagbaja.
I express our sadness and deepest sympathy to his beloved family. Thank you for standing by him in defense of our dear country, even at great personal sacrifice. Know that his service, sacrifice, and legacy will forever be honored by our grateful nation. His life's work will inspire our future generations of the armed forces and index a shining example of dedication to Nigeria.
A true soldier, a general and officer who symbolized the best of his profession and whose commitment to the nation he loved was singular and undiluted.
It is said that from dust we came, and unto dust we shall return. My dear friend and amiable classmate, my leader and jump master, the late Lieutenant General Taoreed Abiodun Lagbaja, has bowed to Mother Earth. His death is indeed a great loss to his family, the Nigerian Army, and the nation in general.
Seriously, I don't know. For me, I'm emotional, but I must do this work seriously, because it was actually a very emotional period, seeing a man who gave his all to the service of his fatherland. You had the president speak there. What will you make of the comments of the president?
I think his speech was on point, and he tried his best to describe a man who we can at best say was practically indescribable, a true soldier to the core, a soldier's soldier, like Mr. President said. I think that those words aptly eulogized him and did their best to describe what he is and who he is and what he represented as a Chief of Army Staff of the Nigerian Armed Forces.
Yeah, sadly, like they say, when this curtain is closing, another is open for somebody. A new man has taken over, appointed as the acting chief. What would you want him to do from now?
Well, I believe the appointment was based on merit as well. I think he also has qualities that cut him out for this responsibility. I believe he would do his best to ensure that the legacies that were initiated by the late Chief of Army Staff would also continue. And then he would also upgrade and also add his own ideas to ensure that the security of the integrity of the territory of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is maintained. I believe he would do his best, because for him to have gotten to this point, it's also a pointer to how good he is and to how sterling his qualities are as well.
Omos, thank you so much for your time with us. It's a real pleasure. But you still remain with us. Yes, sir, we'll just quickly take you to the Nigerian Customs Service, where the 2024 Controller General of Customs Conference held, and Security Watch Africa's Elizabeth Tanko was there to bring us what happened at the opening ceremony.
I'm General Christopher Gwabin Musa, the Chief of Defense Staff Armed Forces of Nigeria. I will be the lead speaker during the 18th African Security Watch Awards and Conference, Doha, Qatar, from the 10th to the 12th of December 2024. I want to invite all Africans, all friends of Africa, to come and support us. It is an important event where I will be discussing the support and the efforts of the Armed Forces of Nigeria to bring peace and security in Nigeria, in West Africa, and in Africa in general. I'm sure you that once Nigeria gets it right, everybody's Africa is going to be well. You are most welcome.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Wednesday commended the Nigerian Customs Service, NCS, for its positive impact on the nation's economy. He gave the commendation through the National Security Advisor, Malum Nuhu Ribadu, while declaring open the 2024 Comptroller General of Customs Conference held in Abuja.
The Nigerian Customs Service has shown remarkable progress in revenue generation. We have had it. enhancing the government's capacity to fund critical national development projects. The service is also strengthening Nigeria's position as a trade-friendly nation through strategic ranking and ease of doing business. The service has also demonstrated that effective trade facilitation can coexist with robust regulatory compliance, as evidenced by the enhanced border security and anti-smuggling operations in the country. These achievements affirm our administration's belief that public institutions can effectively drive transformative change when adequately aligned with national objectives.
Earlier in his welcome address, the Comptroller General of Customs, CG Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, rolled out some of the achievements of the Nigerian Customs Service.
I am pleased to announce that the Nigeria Customs Service has hit its 2024 revenue target of 5.07 trillion. Thank you very much. As at 13:10 hours yesterday, the Nigeria Customs Service has collected a total of 5 trillion 79 billion 455 million 88,194 naira 38 kobo, with more than a month remaining in the 2024 fiscal year.
He also highlighted the agency's ongoing efforts to improve trade efficiency.
We aim to dramatically reduce physical inspection rates through enhanced risk management system. Fully deployed, we hope to fully deploy our e-customs infrastructure and expand the authorized economic operator program. Our focus extends to strengthening regional integration through improved border cooperation and deepening stakeholder engagement through regular consultative forums.
CG Adeniyi appreciated the President and other security agencies for their support.
I must express profound gratitude to His Excellency, the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for his continuous support of our modernization initiatives. And to you, all our partners, both traditional and new, your collaboration has been instrumental in our achievements despite the challenges that we have faced. I must salute the President of the Senate, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and all distinguished senators and honorable members who have provided effective oversight for the operations of Nigeria Customs Service over the last year.
In her keynote address, which was delivered virtually, the Director General World Trade Organization, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, congratulated the Nigeria Customs Service.
Nigerian agencies need to work with the Customs Service to streamline their approach to handling the border. I understand you're currently undertaking a new time-release study. Transparently publishing its results will show the public how things are improving and could help the NCS engage traditional and new stakeholders in identifying where the next round of reforms will have the greatest impact. I know from experience that such reforms are never easy, but ambitious goals require ambitious reforms. They also require building coalitions of support for reform, which is why the NCS is ready to bring all stakeholders together.
Goodwill messages were delivered by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, and the former Comptroller General of Customs, Dr. Jacob Gyagbuba.
Let us approach this conference as an opportunity to redefine collaboration and chart a course for a more resilient, efficient, and purpose-driven Nigeria Customs Service. The success of our engagements, traditional and new, rest to our collective will to innovate, adapt, and deliver results. I commend the Comptroller General of Customs, his team for organizing this timely and strategic conference.
We are pleased to come and celebrate with our younger brothers and sisters who have not only only kept the flag flying, but have honestly improved on what we did. We want to appreciate all government agencies that are collaborating with them. And we pray that the customs will continue to grow from strength to strength.
Remarks were given by some government representatives. The conference, which offers opportunity for stock-taking in the Nigerian Customs Service, will provide avenue for cross-fertilization of ideas towards efficient service delivery by the Nigeria Customs, in line with the concept and drive of the Comptroller General, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi. Elizabeth Thanko, reporting for Security Watch Africa, Abuja.
I am Vice Admiral Awoziberu Gambo, retired, the 21st Indigenous Chief of the Naval Staff, Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, Nigeria. I will be at the 18th African Security Watch Awards and Conference in Doha, Qatar, coming up between 10th to 12th of December 2024. I encourage all and sundry to be there, as I will be speaking on leadership, which affects all aspects of human endeavor, though with emphasis on security based on my personal experience. Please be there.
Yeah, we almost leave the studio now for other programs to continue. If you have enjoyed watching this, join us again next week when we'll bring you another exciting edition of This Week. Until then, have a wonderful week ahead. Bye for now.